Hi, welcome to Jungian Psychology 101. This is basically a brief overview of Jungian psychology so that if you read the book Fifth Business, you can have a better time understanding it. Jungian psychology is a type of psychology that was made by a man named Charles Jung. That's why it's called Jungian psychology, obviously. Now, this video just is very brief as it overviews 5 key concepts of Jungian psychology so that you can better understand Fifth Business. The first concept that you should be able to understand is the archetypes. An archetype is basically a primordial image of a type of person that exists universally through all cultures. Now, this basically means, when I say all cultures, I literally mean it. Every culture has this essential type of archetype. It's often found in their mythology. Of course, this doesn't mean that there's only one type of archetype, or that the characters in the mythology of all these different cultures are the same. No. What it means is that a very rough outline, blueprint, if you will, of a type of person is found in every culture. For example, the mother. Every culture seems to have a basic type of the archetype of the mother. You could say for Christianity it's Mary. You could say that there's ancient goddesses that embody the mother archetype in Roman mythology. Every culture has these types of archetypes. Now, there's many archetypes. Don't get me wrong there. And basically what Jung theorized is that we apply these archetypes to how we see the world, how we see other people, and how we read literature, basically. This is very important to Fifth Business because all the characters embody an archetype. So you have to understand this concept before reading Fifth Business to get the full meaning of the book. Now what Jung went on to theorize is that in people's personalities, there's different types of archetypes that influence them. Now, they may have different archetypes individually, but there's specific types, roles that the archetypes play and how they affect how you act and how you think. These are the persona, the anima/animus, the shadow, and the self. Now, I'll start with the persona. You always act a different way around different people. When you're with friends, you might act more true to yourself, you might be more open, more honest. But if you just met someone on the street, what Jung theorized is that you subconsciously decide how you want them to see you, and you act in a manner which will convey this to them. For example, if you want to act like a fool, you might use the fool archetype and embarrass yourself. Or you might want them to see you as a child, if you were 5 years old, for example, and you might embody the child archetype. That's how your persona acts. How you act depends on who you're with. And your subconscious determines an archetype to help you play out this role and convey what and how you want to be seen. Another one is the anima/animus. Basically, we all have an understanding of masculine and feminine characteristics that allow us to understand the opposite gender and interact with other people. The anima is the male understanding of the female, and the animus is the female's understanding of the male archetype. That's how we know how to act. That's how we basically determine if someone is acting in a way that we deem feminine or masculine, because our understanding of these two archetypes is influencing our decisions. Another type of archetype that is very important and that we all can relate to is the shadow. That's something about ourselves that we don't want to admit, and to do so, we project it on other people because, hey, saves us a guilt trip. For example, if you're procrastinating one night when you have a lot of homework, then next day in school, you're in a group, somebody's not doing their job, you might overreact and say, oh, why don't you do your work? And get really angry, illogically angry. And the reason is that you know that it's true for you as well, but you don't want to admit it. So you just externalize that onto other people. That's the concept of the shadow archetype. We have to understand it to understand ourselves, because otherwise we can live blaming other people for our mistakes. The other archetype is the self. This is who we are. Whatever archetype subconsciously embodies us. There may be many archetypes, or there may be one. As in, the archetype that defines ourselves. Now, this is who we truly are deep down inside. Jung theorized that it could take you your entire life to determine what this is. You might not even determine it. If you do, however, you understand how these archetypes interact in your personality, you achieve something that Jung called individuation. So it's self-understanding. You understand yourself, you understand how you do things, you understand why you do things. That's the self, who you are. It influences what you do, what you want to become, what your dreams are, what your fears are. But we don't always know it because it's hidden. It's the deep self. It's hidden by these other archetypes. And Jung theorized that we have to spend our entire life looking at how these interact to truly understand it. If you can understand these key concepts, it should really help you if you choose to read Fifth Business. It's a great book and you should do that. But this is a very brief outline of Jungian psychology, ergo why I called it Jung 101. Hope you enjoyed the video.